Alright, welcome back to the Supercoach Enough channel. In this video we're going to review Game Week 1 of the 2025-26 Fantasy Premier League season. So there's a little glitch with the website. It's not giving me the points just yet, but you can see down here, so I'll scroll down a bit, that we scored 42 points this week. Not a great start. We're sitting 7.8 million overall out of 10.3. So that's like, I guess, bottom 25% sort of areas. But it is a long season, and there's always time to catch up. So the team this week, our defence wasn't fantastic. Kelleher, Wan-Bissaka, Juve, all 1-point returns. Dekaipa slightly better with a 2-point return. I guess, and that's even compounded by the fact that Dubravka, Van de Ven, and Reynaldo all outscored our starting defence options. So, not ideal. We captained Salah, who was one of our players who didn't blank. Reinders being the other standout there. But other than that, Wirtz, Palmer, Watkins, Gyökeres, all blanking. Minter not doing much for us either as a pod. So a lot of money for very little outcome is frustrating. But again, it's a long season, so no need to panic just yet. In terms of the league, so having a look, we did end up with quite a few late sign-ups. So thanks to everyone who did get involved late. Some of these names I don't recognise, but I'm sure we'll get to know each other throughout the season. But this week I did lose to Lam Sauce, so good to see you back this year, Sam. And, you know, better defence. Sanchez with an 8-point return was nice. Van de Ven on the field was good. Captain Salah as well, so got those points. Anderson with a 6-point return. So was that through defensive contributions? No, he got an assist and a bonus point. So interesting, very popular preseason option, went all right this week. And I guess not a lot on the bench as well. So worked out that the defence did the business. But in terms of the league, looks like the top scorer was Voxel with the Red Devils FC, 69 points this week. Well done. Game week rank of just outside the top 1 million. So a pretty good start. He's got Raya in goal, so 10-point return there. Rodon with a 7-point return in defence was nice. Had Haaland, Wood, and Salah in the team. So that's a pretty good team. Salah, Palmer, and Haaland all fitting in. And then on the bench also, Dingra and Gudmundsson, both scoring quite well. So there was probably potential for a few more points there as well. But I guess in terms of transfers this week, again, we're not going to panic, but I guess it is always nice to have a look at, you know, what could we do with a wild card or a free hit this week. I guess if I was going to pull the trigger, I'd be looking to find a way to get Haaland in. You know, he is super scary. I think the obvious one would be just Palmer and a Watkins or Gyökeres sort of trade. I think if we did Watkins and Gyökeres, we'd probably have to go real cheap in the forward line, which we're probably not wanting to do. So at least with Palmer gives us that extra point on 1.5. So we'll just do it. Watkins and Palmer out. Haaland in. And then we need a 5.5 midfielder. So Reinders has already gone up in price. So luckily we've already got him. Excuse me. We could go O'Reilly as the penalty taker there at Brighton. You know, we're not expecting 10 points every week, but penalties will make for some useful scoring. I guess if we look at midfielders specifically in that price range, so select the position maybe would help. And we'll just look at the ones that are in our bracket. So Oscar Bob's an intriguing one. I don't know if the job security is there, but you know, if he could nail down that right wing spot at Man City, he'd be very nice at the price. Anderson hasn't gone up in price yet, so that would be a nice option. Sarr did do pretty well on game week 1 for Spurs, so we could look at him and bank 0.5. You know, maybe upgrade our defence or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing really stands out down deeper. Zuba maybe 5 point return. How did he get to that? Remove. I want the info. So he got a clean sheet. Here we go, can go across. So I did get 12 defensive contributions, so got the contribution points. So could be an avenue there. So I guess you do have a couple of options. Like if you're doing those sort of 2 trades, which work, you could just cop the 4 point hit, and obviously hope that Haaland will outscore that. You could use your wildcard free hit sort of options. But as I said, I'm probably not looking at doing that myself. I'm going to, you know, stick fat. I think Spurs is a tougher matchup this week, so, you know, Haaland may not necessarily score this week. It's not beyond the realms of possibility. But, you know, we've got Watkins up against Brentford, who probably didn't look 100% this week. Palmer up against West Ham, who were disappointing defensively. So, you know, we'll keep the faith and we'll bank the free transfer this week. But in terms of the team, I think we need to make some decisions here. So, tough fixtures for Wan-Bissaka and Juve, but a tough fixture for Van de Ven as well against Man City. De Kuyper against Everton is okay. And Reynildo against Burnley. If Sunderland can reproduce their form at home against West Ham, he could be a playable option for us this week. But I guess what I'm thinking is I'm probably going to stick with more or less the same 11. It's a bit boring, I know, but you know, we've got our sort of more expensive players. We really don't want to bench them. I think Reinders is close to a lock, and I guess Minter is again that sort of point of difference. So we'll give him another crack over Strand and Larson. So probably not the most eventful video. I guess captaincy we should talk about. So obviously Salah is always in the conversation, but Newcastle are a bit of a decent defensive team. You know, you could look at Reinders against Tottenham, albeit Tottenham probably are a better defence than Wolves. You know, Gyökeres against Leeds. Leeds were pretty good defensively this morning against Everton. Watkins against Brentford. We do have Kelleher in goal, so, you know, we could sort of hedge our bets a bit there. Palmer against West Ham. Again, given how poor West Ham were against Sunderland, he could be in for a bit of a fill-up. But at the end of the day, I think I'm going to stick fat with what I've already got. So Salah captain, Palmer vice captain, pretty boring, but we'll back ourselves in this week to bounce back. So I think we'll wrap the video up there. Keep it fairly short, sharp. So if If you have any questions, comments, thoughts, feel free to add them below this video. Give us a like if you enjoy the FPL content. Subscribe for all the fantasy sports content on the channel. And other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.